Real quick, I wanted to say shout out to a guy who's really throwing down some real good knowledge. His name is Kwame Brown. They call him the Bus Life, and he's waking up some sleeping giants out there. People that have literally been sleeping like these little deer here, these little does. People been sleeping and resting for a long time. And when you start getting a little up there in age and you get into your mid 40s, you start looking at life a little differently. And your children are getting older. You begin to look at life a little differently. You still like to have a good time. There's people that are like these deers. You see that deer there? You see this deer there? You see him? These little does, they resting. They resting in my yard. They're resting in my yard. I bought this place when I was like 28, and now I'm like 40. They're resting in my yard, next to my trees. And you know what's been threatened? My yard, my trees, my grass. They tell me, you know what? I want divorce. I want the kids. I never wanted to live here. I hate this place. Supplied for the woman for basically ever since we were basically like 22. Married for over 15 years. Now she says, I don't want to live here. I want to take half your assets, your pension, your annuity, the property. That's what they want to do. But you see how that deer is waking up, looking around? Probably because I'm talking and stuff. Now it's like, maybe I should get up. Kwame Brown, yeah, nah, he really woke me up, man. Kwame Brown woke me up because I wasn't sleeping like these guys, not understanding, living that life of just trying to make it, trying to feed 3 boys, all by the same person, but trying to feed them. Now look. Waking up. Thanks, Kwame Brown. He woke me up, man. He woke me up to see that real men, it's time to stand up. Real men that know how to raise their boys. I'm not talking about drug abuse or alcohol or any type of that type of man. I'm talking about real men that know how to raise real boys. The real father figures out there. So I'm changing this channel. This channel has been all over the place between, all kind of different things. But at the end of the day, my life has always been my family. It's always been my family. It's been nothing else. And that is something I can't change. And I've just had the police called on me recently within less than a week ago. Called on me for talking to my children. Again, I came in the house yesterday just to talk to my children, and the woman is crying, saying, "You don't talk to me like that." Comparing herself to the way I talk to children. And so this is where we at right now, where you got grown adults that don't want to see black male figures raise their children. They don't get a rise out of it. Some of these ladies do not get a kick out of it. In fact, They will do anything in their God-given will to make sure that we feminize and we just let these boys go and be whatever it is they desire. It's wrong, man, but it's out there. That spirit is real. And shout out to Kwame Brown for standing up, because he's putting it out there on public for everyone to see. My prayers and everything goes out to this guy, because let me tell you something. This is such, in other words, what he is tackling is such an atrocious monster, between child support, exposing that, between women and how they're I love women, don't get me wrong, I love y'all, but women on how they're they look at children as assets instead of looking at them as human beings. And then, that kind of thing. It could be a really, really rough deal. So shout out to him for just exposing the truth, especially even when it comes to the go along, get along gang. I stopped listening to that guy on the Breakfast Club years ago, ever since they started talking about penises first thing in the morning. I'd rather hear, I don't need to hear that at 5 in the morning. It's ridiculous. So I just wanted to say those things. A lot of my views line up with this guy. Shout out to Kwame Brown. I didn't know who he really was. I'm not really a sports guy, but this guy, when he came on the radar, he came in with swinging. Quiet as a mouse all of this time. Now he's a Herculean giant. Shout out to this guy. He's doing his thing. I'm loving what he's talking about. I've been eating grapefruit for about a week. Wasn't feeling good. And so funny, now he's eating grapefruit. I had the police called on me. He's got the police called on me. It's almost like I'm looking at a reflection of what I'm going through. This whole drama issue. Look. Family values are important, and he is trying to express that the best way that he can. And I appreciate that. Peace.